Endo, of course we're deep in settling or bringing peace to the North.
Yeah.
The other day I came across another original battle.
Oh, I love this.
Another product using original
Yes.
to perhaps ward off, competitors.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a good trick in the game. Like Arnott's Biscuits.
Yeah.
Their slogan is accept no substitutes, I think, or something like that.
And they're called Arnott's Originals.
That's right. They go hard on it, don't they? They go very hard in the biscuit world.
Yeah.
Because, again, I'm making this up and just suspecting, but you get the feeling that they were first to the biscuit game.
Yes. Well, first for those style of biscuits.
And then as soon as you make one, you go, these are easy. These are easy to make and people love them.
Yeah.
Guys,
going to make one of these.
Someone's going to do this. Like we have to think of a way to ward off, people love biscuits. And they don't love us. They love the biscuits.
Yep.
So if someone else comes along and they make these for someone else, it's cheaper. I think our biscuit fans will go there. Like they don't love us personally.
Yes.
They just like a sugary, hard-baked treat with their cup of tea. And I guess to some extent that's worked. Arnott's is a big company. They've defended the turf well.
Yep.
Would you say?
I agree. And I think by putting original on something, it feels more trusted. I don't know why.
Yep.
Oh, because they're saying, well, we wouldn't have stuck around this long.
Yep.
And
we did.
Because if you went into a store and it was like, butternut biscuits, first ever packet.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want those.
Yes.
I think I'd like to see them get some runs on the board before I eat their first ever packet of biscuits.
But I suppose,
fingers crossed. Hope you love them. Hoping to be around for some time.
You're right. If they've been around for 40 years, they know what they're doing by now. But also I think what the original helps you at is just to say, we did the research and development. We know at its core what it is.
Yep.
We're not trying to reverse engineer a biscuit. We know what made it a biscuit to begin with in the right order. And I think that's
everyone's trying to copy us. Yeah, that's good. That is true. Side note, people bloody love biscuits. Here's the other original company, Sea Monkeys.
Oh,
did you have Sea Monkeys as a kid?
No, I never had them.
Yes, very uneventful.
They're like a little.
That's such the right way to describe sea
they're
monkeys.
like a little bacteria or something.
I think they're sea lice. I think they're a tiny shrimp.
Yeah. But
they are a living organism.
Yeah, but on the ads and on the packaging, they look like these big underwater lizard dragons. Yeah, that are having.
Well, no, they're not many armed, hilarious, jovial, pink.
Yeah.
Creatures of the sea who are wearing crowns and waistcoats and tickling each other and having fun in their kingdom.
Right.
That's how sea monkeys are advertised on the box. Mm-hmm. And I would have thought, in this day and age, when even the most ridiculous disclaimers are on ads and stuff, like you see like an ad where it's like a house blows up and they have to put in small print like, oh, don't blow up your house. Like you have to cover everything in ads these days. At no point, and I scoured it. So Rudy was given a pack of sea monkeys from a birthday party. Nowhere on the box does it go, by the way, the sea monkeys aren't these things, these pink animals. So it literally just says, these are sea monkeys. This is what you buy. I'm so really surprised someone hasn't sued them.
Yeah.
Like it literally at no point goes, by the way, this is just a cartoon that has nothing to do with what you bought.
And one by one, every kid will be disappointed by sea monkeys.
Rudy asked, do we feed them bananas? It's this this tiny tub of water that you put powder in, which is the sea lice eggs.
And then what happens?
So you meant to wait a week?
Yeah.
And this is no one. I reckon I would be so surprised to find it if anyone's kept sea monkeys alive for longer than 14 days, if at all.
And how big do they grow?
They're tiny.
They're tiny. They're like wiggling around. They're kind of like, you can see movement in there, but they're like fleas.
Like tiny worms.
Well, it's sort of like seeing a dust mite or something.
Even a worm is way too generous for what it is. No, way too generous.
You're way too big. Like think the size of eye poo in the morning and a small fleck. Yeah. Such a small fleck you wouldn't even bother telling your friend they have it in their eye.
Right. You see it in the water and you just think it's part of imperfections in the water.
Right.
You have to look so closely to go, oh, that is moving. No, they're not, Andy. I can't stress this enough. They're the worst things in the world. They're a speck of dust.
Okay.
They're a speck of dust that if you watch for a long time, you will see that it is moving in a way slightly different than gravity or the tide of the water. Yeah. And you go, okay, that thing's moving independently.
Okay.
That's as good as it gets. They are not, it's not a kingdom of aquatic beasts.
Okay.
As advertised. Yeah, like Root genuinely is furious with the sea monkey situation in her bedroom. But sea monkeys the company are onto an absolute belter here because they're selling you dust with like into in a plastic container and a little plastic castle. And then a week later you're meant to put in the extra food. And there's all these rules like, you might not have, you make sure it's got this amount of sunlight and make sure the water's right. But all just lots of ass covering for, you can't get us for the fact that these things aren't going to be exciting and alive. And then, of course, like every kid that's been given sea monkeys, the parents get the blame because you're setting it up. And then Rudy's like, where are they? Why are they dead? You didn't feed them properly. Honey, they're the worst things in the world. And then the sea monkey people know this. They're just selling you a complete fantasy. Yep. And they're claiming the original. So someone's definitely tried to get in on the sea monkey game and gone, we're spectacular sea monkeys or we're the newest sea monkeys. And sea monkeys have pushed them back out and gone, no, we're original.
So
held firm.
They
are the original sea monkeys. And
it would be interesting to see if a competitor came along with sea monkeys and used the name, even used the cartoon characters and the king and the queen of the sea monkey world, and then the original tried to sue them and go, well, but these aren't real. What are you suing? Show me the king and the queen of the sea monkey world.
Bring them in. We want them in court. So we should do it just to smoke these bastards out.
I've actually only got one more show left before the bloody government-mandated break comes in.
Well, we should say, obviously still fighting it, but it looks, just had a text from our lawyer. Let me just quickly read it here. Oh, pulled a bad judge. That's annoying. I won't bore everyone with the details. They're hoping to get a certain judge, but he's just saying that they're filing into the courtroom now to appeal and not looking good. Okay, doesn't matter. We'll keep you updated on that.
Distracted.
But in case we're coming towards the end of the year, Ando, for real, and we have to take the mandated break. Obviously, next week, traditionally on the final show, we tie up some loose ends.
Oh, yeah.
I've got a pre-loose end. Great. Well, it's an open issue, an open topic that we've received considerable blowback from.
Oh, it's not. I'm not going back to...
Oh, no, it's not GPs. We're all good there.
That was the word we weren't allowed to mention anymore.
No, all good there. Jokes were made. Jokes were taken seriously. Jokes were rescinded. And as you'll remember in that, there was the decision there to dig in or apologise.
Apologise or dig in. And traditionally, we are a dig in.
We'd love to dig in, but said, no. Look, if things were taken far more seriously than they were intended to be taken, the apology happened. But this is another dig in or apologise situation. But can you think of anything we've discussed recently? I would say I was the lead on this again, disappointingly. Jack, you were right there with me in fierce agreement. And Ando, you were probably third most culpable.
Okay.
Give us a clue.
I'll just say it. The sea monkey community.
Oh, no, who are the community?
A flood of backlash.
There is a community?
Mate.
What?
I'll just read you a few of the first sentences, right?
Yeah. So just remind me of what was said, because I've never had sea monkeys, but I think...
No, they were the worst. I mean, as I'm just paraphrasing what we said at the time.
Oh, boy. Wouldn't want to see Reddit exploding on that.
Simply, they were advertised as fun lizard-type creatures who lived under the sea, and they would live in your fish tank.
Yeah, tuxedos on and scepters and crowns and stuff. It was a kingdom.
Yep.
A kingdom. It was a pink... They were advertised as a pink animal-like... sort of like cartoony-like animal on the front that lived a wild life.
Bounced around. Really, it would be very entertaining, but really they just were like...
They're specks of dust.
We called them specks of dust. That comes up a lot, Jack, and now you might have been the one that said specks of dust. But I tried to grow some for my daughter. It just turned into dirty water. Threw them out. I was like, this is just an absolute disappointment. And I was like, who really...
You really said sham.
Shocking disappointment. Who really? I mean, it can't. You could say that word because the manufacturers would have to stand in court, point to the front of the box, and go, "No, that's the animal we're selling," and it's not. It's sea lice.
Yes.
Right. So it's a pack of powdered sea lice eggs, and they're meant to hatch in there, and you're meant to be mesmerized by watching the sea monkeys grow. Now, Jack and I both have very disappointing experiences with this.
Yep.
Not so everyone else. So like the emails coming in said, like, you know, I'm so disappointed to hear your sea monkey takes. You take.
Is this a mixture of people who work for Sea Monkeys Incorporated, or just
like
people?
Georgia, I can't believe you don't appreciate the magic of them coming to life out of a packet. Mm-hmm. You said that they're grains of dust and no one's kept them alive for longer than 14 days. Might have been strung for 2 months now. That's from Connor. I agree, Jack. This smelled a lot like the people that work at Sea Monkeys headquarters, but they're coming in from all countries of the world.
Right.
So have we just not grown them properly, Hamish?
No, hang on. Like, I'll get to some of the finer details. But first, we have to decide, Jack. Do we apologise here for our comments on Sea Monkeys, or do we dig in? Now, to make the situation easier, I've invented a randomised wheel that has both dig in and apologise on it. And we'll take whatever stance it.
And we can use the wheel going forward, I suppose.
Dig in or apologise. Let's see what it says for the Sea Monkeys issue.
Yes! They're so shit.
They are a scam. They don't look like they do on the box. It's just sea lice. Anyway, but to have a little listen of some of the the feedback here. This is from Jordan. Hamish also, you know, he goes hard, going, you know, I've currently had mine for 9 months. They're still going strong, right? So I'll acknowledge that these people are looking after them better than we did, Jack.
Of course.
People
and
say
they're not a scam. We should take that back.
They're not a scam. No, they are sea lice.
Yes. But they just don't look like cartoon characters that bounce around and entertain you all the time. They're just
one can say they're the characters on the front of the pack.
Yes.
Okay, so they're not. No, if you were buying them thinking that's what you're getting, what I mentioned was like nowhere on the pack does it say, by the way, they don't look like this.
No,
I think you just meant to assume. You meant to know.
I mean, imagine
buying.
The sadness of the box with the real thing on the front cover.
That's why they do it. I think they give them little personalities on the front. But some people are running going, look, I've had mine for over a year. Hamish mentioned they weren't entertaining. Number 6 also agreed. Again, very harsh. I had my sea monkeys die a few months ago, but then the new babies respawned from the dead mum a week later after she died. That's even more mesmerising than a copper sphere. Right? So there's stuff going in there. How's this from Hugo? As a passionate sea monkey owner, 3 different aquariums, has 3 different boxes of it.
Really?
Hugo, you are misled and misinformed. Or just shit owners of an incredibly basic and self-sufficient life form, which maybe we are.
True.
Those little Artemia, which I guess is their technical name, grow quite large and are a pleasant addition to any desk or podcast studio. They each have their own personalities to some degree.
Some float lower than the others.
And this is where he's like, all right, I guess Hugo knows. They have their own personalities and tend to participate in orgies. I've seen in excess of 4 having at it with each other. Shame on you calling them specks of dust. Disgruntled listener, sea monkey advocate.
When he says they grow big, relative to what? Because mine were half a grain of rice.
I'm not joking. We probably got over 12 emails on this. This is the biggest they go. This is from David. He goes, not big. My sea monkeys have been alive for a month now. They're big enough to see from across the kitchen table.
No kidding.
So you do have to be pretty widthways. So you do have to be pretty close to them.
The aquariums they came in were plastic containers.
Yeah.
And they had built into the surface little magnifying glasses.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So you know straight away they're going to be tiny if they have to build in magnification into the product.
Yes, that's true.
Look, I don't deny that, and I'd like to say that people that have enjoyed their ownership of sea monkeys, good for you.
Yep.
That's great.
We support you.
It actually came to our attention because we were talking about, they're called the original sea monkeys.
Oh, right.
And so I was like, it came up in the original croc jumping stuff. Yeah. Someone's mentioned that the original could be there because there could be a similar spectacular original case to answer for, because there's also something on the market called aqua dragons who may be a competitor to sea monkeys.
Well, yeah,
and that's what made
seems more exciting, doesn't it?
That's what made the manufacturers of sea monkeys put the original on the front. Aqua dragons also have you have to be honest in saying, like, quite a fantastical illustration on the front compared to what the actual animal is.
Well, guys, great dig in, and a great one to tie up next week. Hopefully it's not the last episode, because we hate this government mandate at break. But if we do lose that court battle, we'll see you next week to tie up more loose ends.
Yeah.